Hey, Sweet Rising. Happy Friday. Today is actually the 8-8 portal. That is when, what is it, the Sirius constellations all line up with the pyramids that the Egyptians built. Tap in now. But tomorrow, tomorrow is the Aquarius full moon. Very intense energy. We got to pull this shit out by the root, baby. Like, we really got to get to the depths of why we are repeating cycles, why we are in the cycles that we are in. Maybe they're good. And, this full moon is here to help you, like, expand on the good. But also, it's like, we got to work on some things. It's okay. At least you know. Knowing is half the battle. Now you got to accept it and actually move with it, which, very scary. Hey, if you've never done something, it can be scary. Even, like, when you are used to life being a certain way. I mean, I guess we can say chaos. Like, you're just used to things. When you get to a place where it's like, I'm going to choose peace, that peace can feel weird at first because really it's like you are on a physical plane, your body, right? You have to feel it in your body. And a lot of times I call upon the Honorable Benevolent Elevated Most High Creator, the Honorable Benevolent Elevated Archangel Michael, and the Honorable Benevolent Elevated Archangel Gabriel. As for 3 cards, what energy will the full moon in Aquarius bring us? But it's making sense. It's making sense. The Virgo South Node right now. So yes, Virgo is about it is the maiden, it's about purifying, right? And so really this is about purifying in all the ways. So releasing that from your body. And it can happen in different ways. I mean, some people need to exercise, some people need to cry, some people need to do stretching. It depends, but you gotta do something. You gotta do something. 2 more cards. Yeah, ether. See, ether. A state of higher consciousness / spiritual awareness. North Node in Pisces. Pisces is so 2 more cards. What energy will the full moon in Aquarius bring us? Way too many. Pisces in, what did I say? The North Node. That is very much giving your intuition kind of knows best. That daydream place. I don't want to say Earth and then married to the game future. I don't want to say daydream, but that creativity is really important because that actually leads to like you imagining a better life for yourself. You imagining the steps to take to get you to where you need to be, right? You don't. It is what it is. Shrugs. You've done this before. Deja vu. Yeah, there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. History has been erased and rewritten so many times. There's the African proverb that says the what is it? Let me look. Okay, so it's until the lion learns to write, the story will always glorify the hunter. So you have to learn how to stand in your authority. And listen, like I said, nothing new under the sun, and history has been rewritten. We understand that things are set up this way, systematic oppression, right? They don't tell their side. They don't tell all the details of it because when you learn the details, then you're like, fuck that. Fuck that. And the fact that like they bury it, right? We can see that with what they got going on with this administration. They bury things, right? They're rewriting history in front of our eyes. So this is like really being tapped in and understanding that we have to, I don't want to say get out of our own way. I would say understand like where we have been and understand that we can't go back there because we understand how bad it was. And so yeah, married to the game future. The deeper the ocean, the deeper the pain. It's not funny. But I'm just laughing at the song. That's why I write that. But yeah. The name of the game is understanding like where you've been from and how bad it can get and becoming at peace with it. There's that full circle. Trauma is stored in the body. So 3 cards. How can we move with this energy? Quite literally move. Oh, the sun is in Leo. The sun is in Leo. It might link up with Chiron that just went retrograde. The full moon, or not the full moon, but the sun is going to be opposite of that, and then it's already lit, but that's going to help light it up some more. 3 cards. How can we move with this energy? As for honorable, benevolent, elevated, truth, clarity, protection, and honesty. How can we in discernment? I know there was something else in there. Use your discernment. Oh yeah, that's going back to that Pisces. Use that discernment. 2 more cards. That Pisces North Node. 2 more cards. How can we deal with this? And how beneficial it is to actually use your discernment, because once you've been through something, like the body remembers. The body always remembers. So like that's why it's important. I'll say that's why it's important to heal, because I was gonna say, you have to get to a certain point so that your body can relax and release those things. But once you get to a certain point, it's like, you can discern whether it's like you're still being triggered, or if you've actually moved, right? And like moving through that. So what do I mean? When you have all those things that you haven't worked on, or consciously or unconsciously, listen, life is life. Anything can happen. We see the vastness of it, right? You have to be able to feel your body. And because why do I say that? Because that is where it's your intuition. Your body is your intuition. It definitely helps. It's that energy. Why do I say it's that energy? If we Mercury is still retrograde. If we think in the terms of like science and all those things, like we are all carrying, what is it, electromagnetic, like there's a whole electromagnetic field. That's what I'm getting at. Words. I told you it's Mercury retrograde still. 1 more card. How can we deal with this energy? But also with Mercury retrograde, it is message. Good to slow down. Oh, speak from the heart. Learn the heart, speak from the heart. That's the heart. That's the throat chakra. And yeah, Oh, Venus is in Cancer. Venus is in Cancer. Okay, okay, yeah, Cancer card. Cancer card. What does that mean? It means you gotta keep pushing. The highs and the lows, they are important for you to understand what it is to exist in this world and see the depths. And I'm not saying anything like horrific, like but you know, those highs and lows can help you learn how to maneuver on this earth. You know, obviously there's a gray area there, but what am I saying? Help you maneuver. Yeah, because you learn what that energy feels like. Okay, you learn what that malevolent energy feels like. You know what it's you know, feels like, looks like. You if people's like it, so when we are hurt, it like rips our aura field, right? And it can attract entities and attachments, right? And that's why it is important to heal, because once you heal that wound, that it becomes like a smaller pocket for that entity to actually get into. You know, and obviously that's why Pisces North Node. It is important to do your spiritual cleansings, you know, and work on that so that you can kick whatever is trying to bring you down. And that is why it is important to also learn what the heart is saying. Why do I say learn? Because, you know, the Queen of Swords, she knows things. She's smart. And then, you know, with the page of wands, no minor arcana. Okay, two major arcana and two core cards. Interesting. But yeah, very potent energy for you to listen to what your soul is trying to say, what your emotions are trying to say, what your heart is trying to say. Your heart is actually speaking of auras. That is what controls. And why do I say auras? That's your EMF field. That's the electromagnetic field that you generate, and that comes from your heart. They're called torids, actually. Yeah, I want to say that's what they're called. But yeah, if you know, you know. I guess. But that it generates from your heart, and so it also helps you. You know, that's what helps connect you to the ground. That's what helps connect you to your body, so that you're not just out here disconnected. You know, lost in the sauce, nervous system on 100. Listen, we've all been there. I'm not like the world does a very very good job of, you know, making sure that you have felt that. We've all been there. Like, everybody has been through things in their life that has just put them on edge. And it is important when you are feeling those things that we do have those routines, and that, you know, we learn to it is what it is, like, feel it and keep it pushing. Don't stay stuck in that. Now, I'm not saying push things off, but, you know, really, like, feel it. Like, if you need to, however you need to get it out. And don't store it in you. Don't become numb. Don't become numb. This is like the Great Awakening. That's what, you know, Age of Aquarius. That's what they all say. But it's definitely like, you can't be numb, because when you're numb, you can't even feel joy. You know, like, you have to be able to feel things to feel that nirvana, to feel happy. And nirvana, why do I say nirvana? Nirvana is like that, you know, the peak state. That's where, you know, the Buddhists and, you know, want to be. Is it the Buddhists, or is it the Tibetan monks? I think it might be a little bit of both. It might even be Indian. Interesting. Because I was gonna say Zen too, but anyways, it goes hand in hand. But that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Take this time to really sit and work on healthy structures in your life. You know, because with all these things retrograde, this is the time to really see past your own. I don't want to say shit, but, you know, use your heart to make decisions. And, you know, your heart gets weighed at the end when it's all said and done. And, you know, is it gonna be lighter than a feather? And that starts with work here on the physical. But Mercury's been kicking my ass, so I am gonna go. I hope you have a great Aquarius full moon, and I hope that if you do any manifestations today, first of all, like I said, Mercury retrograde, just double check what you write down. You know, take it a little slow. It's okay. But you know, yeah, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do to create the life you want. Obviously, without doing harm to others, to the best of your ability. I ain't saying, you know, back down, but, you know, sometimes you gotta lose the battle to win the war. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's that Queen of Swords energy. And I don't even want to say in a negative way, but it's just like, what are you really gonna give your energy to? Like, is it worth it at the end of the day? Is the reward really that great? Yeah. Okay.